Brian, you say equities is still the place of choice, and yet in every nation we have the political distractions that Anna just spoke about. Can you maintain optimism on revenue growth, earning growth, and international, by that I mean all-in equities, given the distractions that we just heard about from London?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we've been dealing with political distractions. When are we not dealing with political distractions?
Don't you think it's gotten worse in the last 12 months?
Maybe it's gotten somewhat worse in the last 12 months, although I would argue that coming into this year, there was a lot of concern about, Europe and the elections in France and perhaps a breakup of the common currency, and that all passed without political incident. So some of these distractions, what's going on in Germany, talks of budget out of the United Kingdom, I would actually say, I would take my statement back and say, no, we've probably, in Europe, have probably progressed maybe somewhat better than we expected, than the naysayers expected heading into the year.
Away from the digital stocks, the FANGs that have given us these huge returns, you were at Ann Arbor. If you go 60 miles northwest of Ann Arbor, there's supposed to be little Switzerland with an industrial growth in America. Are those equities priced reasonably, or do you have to go to international?
So the equities, cyclical, value-oriented stocks, industrials, banks, energy, are priced reasonably in the United States. In fact, if you compare the growth stocks or the big technology stocks to the value stocks, they are as expensive to value as they've been in a very long time. But that doesn't mean that value necessarily needs to outperform. There likely needs to be a catalyst. But you make a very interesting, and a catalyst to sustain higher growth in the United States. But you make a very good point about international markets. Not that long ago, people were worried a little bit about valuations in Europe, and you see what happens with credit growth and earnings growth. Those valuations don't look as elevated. Emerging markets also, they've rallied significantly this year, but are still generally cheap to the developed world on a historical basis.